welcome back to my channel. This is Cherry again, and for today's video we'll be doing squid dissection. So actually I used to eat calamares, and I'm also curious about the internal parts of a squid. So I'll be using the squid as a subject for this activity. And also squid is part of phylum Mollusca in a class Cephalopoda. When we say Cephalopoda, that means head foot.
Squid are mollusks like oyster and clams, but they have no shells on the outside of their body. Instead, their shell or their modified shell are inside of their bodies, and that is called a pen. So we will look for the pen later. And there are about 375 species of squid. The squid have 10 arms, and 2 of their arms are longer than the other 8, which are called the tentacles. So squid range in size from under an inch to more than 60 feet in length. So they have long tubular bodies and little heads. So squid are very fast swimmers and use a kind of jet propulsion so that they can move. And also squid suck water into a long tube called the siphon, and then they will push it back out so they can aim the water in any direction. So squid have very good eyesight and may even be able to see in colors. So squid's 2 tentacles are specially adapted for feeding, and they use them to grab their prey. So they have a sharp beak on their mouths that they use to break and open shells.
Before we are going to start on dissecting the squid, we must first ensure that we prepare ourselves, and that means that we should wear our laboratory gown and also our gloves. And if you have a long hair like me, you can tie your hair like this so that it won't mess up your work. So let's start now. So one of the main reasons why they are called head foot is because of their head, which is right here, and their foot or their modified foot, which are the tentacles, and the arms are attached together as one unit. So the arm side of the squid is the anterior side, while the opposite side is the posterior, and this is the posterior point. So the side of the squid that we are looking right now is the ventral side or the belly side of the squid that is pointing below the ocean. And the opposite side, if you turn it back, is the dorsal side of the squid. So as we have noticed, there is a difference between the color of the belly side and the dorsal side.
This is an example of counter shading because it's an open ocean type of squid. It has an ability to camouflage itself like all open ocean organisms that you know. They are darker on the dorsal side to blend in the deeper ocean, and they are lighter on the ventral side or in the belly side to blend in with the sun if a predator is looking from the above.
Talking about the camouflage, all of these dots, these are the chromatophores, and these chromatophores are all these individual little dots. These are the pigmented cells, and they extend on the whole entire body, and they also extend on the siphon and extended below down through all the arms and also in the tentacles. Chromatophores have the ability to expand and contract. So if you look over on this side of the long body area, you'll notice that some of the chromatophores are bigger and some are smaller. And so the chromatophores that are bigger, the muscles for each individual cells are being pulled and spread apart, or it is also called dilated, and that will allow the squid to be a little bit darker. And if the chromatophores is a tiny dot, it is the muscle that loosen up, and it makes the squid a little bit lighter. Squid usually have 3 different colored chromatophore layers, so they can have the ability to change into the color they need to match their environment. Let's go to the external portion of our squid. So right here, these are the arms, and squid are considered decapods. Deca means 10 and past refers to food. So that means they have 10 different appendages. So the arms are the shorter ones, and they have 8 equal length arms, and they have 2 longer tentacles. Aside from their length, the arms also have a suction cups along the whole entire interior side of a squid's arm. We might not notice it or see it, but if we take a closer look here, every single suction cup is on a stalk. An inside suction cup is a ring of Katniss teeth along the whole entire lining of the arm. And then these 2 long tentacles only have suction cups at the very tip of it. So as we can see it here. Actually, male squid have one extended appendage, and that helps transfer sperms through the female during mating. Squid have 2 eyes, one eye right here and one eye on the other side. They also have lens, and this is an essential feature for them to be able to survive, as they can see very well and match their environment. The structure right over here is called the siphon. So this is where water gets out for a jet propulsion to swim past. The side of the body, this entire area right here, is called the visceral mass or the massive organs. This very thick structure, this is the mantle, and this is in charge for creating a water current. And for the gills are on the inside, and it is very muscular because it contracts and also it forces the water out. The mantle is the main skin or the main protection for the rest of the organs. These 2 triangular pieces right here are called fins, and fins are used for controlled swimming and also act for steering like a rudder. So 2 ways that this squid will swim is, first, they will flap their fins, which will allow them for gentle control swimming or hovering and even turning. And also they will use their siphon for jet propulsion so that they could swim quickly. The first thing to do is to cut the mantle so that we can see the internal structures of the squid. So I will pinch the mantle like this to pull the mantle up so it's away from the organs. So I'm gently cutting it now all the way to the posterior or the pointed end of the squid. We can now see the internal portion of our squid. I mentioned earlier the siphon. Here is the siphon. So the mantle would compress and the water would just shoot out straight through the mantle, and that allows the squid to get away very quickly. Right above the mantle, if you could notice, there is this ink sac that produces ink, and it shoots out through the siphon with the water, and that is their way to conceal them getting away. These 2 parts on the side are their gills. So the use of these gills and lungs are for breathing and absorbing oxygen. It also gets rid the carbon dioxide. This part is the cecum, and this one is the seminal vesicle. Squid have 3 hearts. They have 2 bronchial hearts, which is right here, and the other one is here. The purpose of these 2 bronchial hearts, since they are attached to the gill, they take the blood that has been oxygenated at the gills and pass it to the 3rd heart, which is right here between the 2 bronchial hearts. So this is called the systemic heart. This will pump the oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. So there's 2 bronchial hearts, 1 bronchial heart each connected to each gill, and a systemic heart is pumping the blood to the rest of the body. So that is the main structures of the internal portion. Now we are going to find a support structure. To do that, we are going to remove the squid from its mantle. So what we're going to do is to grab this head and hold down here. So we are going to pull it towards the posterior side. So we already removed this. This is actually considered as the organ trail of a squid. As we have noticed, 2 gills are left behind. So we got now the shell. This is the modified shell for squids. All cephalopods, except for Nautilus, lost their shell, and it allows them to become much faster. But they were not as protected, so the shell is some type of support structure for the squid. Let's go to the arms. So inside the arms is the feeding appendages. The mouth is right here, and we also have here the beak right here in the center. There are actually two parts to it, and it is surrounded by a very strong massive muscles called a buccal bulb. I'm going to cut around the buccal bulb so that we can see the esophagus. Here we see the circular buccal bulb, and here we have now the esophagus. So the esophagus leads straight to the stomach. Next, let's go to the beak. We have here one, pull it out, and another one beak. So the buccal bulb, this muscular mass, controls the movement of the beak. Lastly, I would like to show you the eyes and the lens. So pull it out carefully. Supposed to be the lens are hard like marble, but I have a damaged one here, so please bear with me. Just like ours, their lens helps refocus images, so the images passes through it and bounces off the back. So same exact structure that we have, but in a smaller scale. One fact, actually my lens are not original. This is only artificial lenses. Because I'd been in a cataract operation back on 2018 of October. Today shows that squid have some unique adaptations. Some can change color and some can shoot ink to cloud the water and lose predators. So the squid usually travel in groups and can be found in a sunlit zone or in the twilight zone. We are now done in dissecting our squid, and most of all, don't forget to clean your area, throw the garbage properly, and also wash and clean the things and materials that you use.
Alright, so we are now done, and that is our squid dissection for today. And also, you can do squid dissection by yourself because squid are actually available in the market and you can just do it in your home. So today is fun and I truly enjoy it, even though squid is so sticky and juicy, because finally I already saw the internal parts of a squid, and this time not just in pictures. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you enjoy watching and you learn something too. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.